All right. Let's get into business. I hope everybody is doing amazing. And I want to start off with a lot of gratitude and saying thank you so much for taking your time. And let me see in the chat, okay? I don't care if you're in the team or not. How has your day been today on a scale from 1 to 10? How has your day been? My day has been amazing. It has been great. We're hustling, we're grinding, we're educating ourselves, we're making an impact on a daily basis. So how can things not be good? And we see crypto also. So things are just amazing these days. And I see you guys also doing super, super great. And that I love to also see. With that being said, my name is Daniel, and I'm gonna introduce you guys to our speakers for tonight's event, for tonight's masterclass. Yesterday, we had Matthew Rosa talking about entrepreneurship and how you can level up as an individual and understanding the fundamentals to what it takes from zero to hero, right? And today you will learn more about the skill sets which Matthew Rosa from yesterday has also utilized for his own advantage, right? To develop his life, for his family, for himself, and so much more. And we have the best speakers to help you guys understand more what is the foreign exchange market, also called for the forex market, right? Trading, okay? Trading. We have Brandon Boyd and Dr. Josh Lee. And I am super excited for this masterclass today because we're all going to learn about what is trading, right? How does it work? How can you get started? And guys, we're going to learn from the best. Because one thing my mentor taught me, he said to me, if you want to become the best, you got to learn from those who are already at the top, who already are the best, right? If you want to go and become a professional soccer player, you don't learn from an amateur, right? You learn from a professional. And today you're going to learn from some very, very, very experienced traders. So I am super excited, and you guys should be as well. So let me introduce you guys to the first speaker that we have here today. Okay, we're gonna have two speakers, and the first one I'm gonna bring here onto the scene is gonna be Mr. Brandon Boyd. Mr. Brandon Boyd. I would say that Brandon is he has outclassed so many people, but not in an arrogant way, not in a selfish way, no, but in a way of class. Guys, Brandon Boyd is a person who has been in this whole industry with the entrepreneurship and building communities and trading for I don't even know how many years, a decade? It's about a decade, I'm pretty sure. So it's amazing to learn from this individual here today. And pretty funny story, actually. When I started inside of our organization, inside our company about 2 years ago, the trading strategy and concepts which Brandon and Josh Lee are educating the people in, it was the first strategy which I plugged myself into when I started. And imagine this, friends. You come in, you have no idea, like when you're looking at the charts, you're thinking like, what is this? It's looking like spider web, right? I think we all know that. So when you come in, you're new, you may be scared because you're like, this is such a big opportunity to learn about trading. It can really give you so much like in the future. But you're new, you're maybe scared, and then you come in. And then I joined, right? And then I went in to watch Brandon Boyd's and Dr. Josh Lee's strategies. And I went in and I saw some of their boot camps where they go and educate exactly all the steps there is to their strategy. And after about 1 month and 2 months, my eyes, my brain started to really understand the market more and more. And that is so crazy because many people and myself thought that trading is so hard, is so overcomplicated, but actually it's quite simple if you just keep it that way. And Brandon Boyd is one of those individuals who has made trading so simple. and educating on a daily basis the members inside of the platform. Guys, this man, just imagine this, okay? Just really consider this. Imagine that you had about 5 to 6 kids, okay? You have 5 to 6 kids. You have a wife, okay? You have also a wife, and you're leading an organization of a few thousand couple people. And you're also an educator for another few thousand couple people, right? Imagine having all these things at the same time running in one direction, guys. Do you think you could do that with the person you are right now? Maybe, maybe not. But Brandon Boyd, he can. So I'm super blessed to learn from Brandon on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. And now you guys have the opportunity to learn from this individual for free. So what can I recommend you to right now before I pass on the word? Get your notebooks ready. Take maybe a memo. Really be focused. Don't look at your phone. Be present. Be here, because you do not want to miss one information, because with one information can change your whole situation. And it did that for me. So with that being said, I'm not going to take more of the time. Brandon Boyd, thank you for your time. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. I appreciate that. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes,
We
sir.
good? Okay, perfect. Well, guys, I'm super excited to be on here. I really appreciate each and every one of you for taking time to be on this call. I realized that the time difference, that some of you it's nighttime, and I just really want to say thank you for being on here. And I'm grateful to be a part of this amazing company, this amazing movement that we have here at IYOVIA. And I realize that there's some people on the call, as this is another day of the masterclass, that you really haven't seen this before. You don't know what trading is, and so I want to focus on first what is trading and how it works and the power of trading and Forex, and then also show you a tool that myself and Dr. Lee put together that we believe is changing lives around the world globally. It is a phenomenal tool that you guys can use to help you be successful in regards to trading. And I first got in the industry of trading about 9 years ago. In fact, my anniversary for this company and trading is actually coming up. It's 9 years, December 9th, 2015 is when I got involved. And let me just tell you, without giving you all the details, it's changed my whole life. As Daniel mentioned, I'm married. I've got 6 children, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, six children. So I've got a big family, and it's changed my life. And so I'm very grateful to have found trading because it's given me hope for the future. You know what's cool is myself and Dr. Lee sat down with my 20-year-old son, and he'd already been trading for a little while, but we showed him something. In fact, part of what we're going to show you today that kind of made him mind blown about trading. And I told him, this is your future, man. You can do more than even I've done. And isn't it so cool that I can take this knowledge and I can teach it to my kids rather than just giving them money? I can give them knowledge. I can give them and help them learn the skills of how to do this. I'm empowering my son. I want to empower my children. And so we were able to sit down for an hour and a half. And so I want to share with you some of the things that we've learned over this time, that for those who are new to this, that this could be a game-changing day in your life. Daniel talked about it. One idea, one relationship can make the whole difference in your life. So like this phone call today, like you heard from one of my friends, Matt Rosa, yesterday, like this call could completely change your life moving forward. When you think about 2025, you now have hope. Okay. So let me start off by just talking about what is trading, the power of trading, and then I want to be able to have Dr. Lee show you the tool that we put together to help you. So first, when you have heard about trading, a lot of people have been talking about Bitcoin and Forex and commodities and indices, and they've heard about it, but you've never really done it. When I first got involved with trading, nobody could really explain to me what is trading. What does that mean? Myself and Dr. Lee came up with a very simple definition. And it's simply put that to trade, and you guys could actually write this down if you want. To trade is to make a prediction on the direction of price movement. That's all it is. To trade is to make a prediction on the direction of price movement. For example, if I want to trade Bitcoin right now and I predict that Bitcoin is going to go up, or even if Bitcoin is going to go down, if I put in a sell and I predict that price of Bitcoin is going to have a pullback and go down, as the price of Bitcoin is going down, I make money. See, like when I would do stock before, I was praying that the stock would go up. Whereas with trading, we can make money as price goes up. We can also make money as price goes down. That's really what trading is. And so one of the questions that people ask is, when you talk about price movement in what? Well, it could be anything. Like some of you, maybe you've done real estate or heard about real estate. Like if you could actually put price or real estate on a chart, you could trade it. Stocks, commodities, indices, foreign currencies. If you can put that on a chart, you can trade it. Let me give you guys an example. And I want to show you something here because this is something that will help you guys understand the analogy. So I have one of the things that I trade online, and I've done this for a lot of years, is you can see, and I'm going to zoom in so that you can see these. So these are items that are signed, okay? And by the way, these are very expensive items that are signed. You know, Michael Jordan, see all this? See, that's a Michael Jordan signed basketball. So these are signed items, very expensive items. So what happens is I can actually go online and I can actually buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. I could do it on eBay. I could do it on Amazon. You know, there's local websites, you know, with where I live, where I can actually buy and sell items online and I can actually make money. You realize you can actually do that with currency. So foreign currency. So the euro, the US dollar, the Canadian, the Great British Pound, et cetera. Like you can trade these different assets. You can put it on a chart. You can actually execute trades and you can make money. This is what I found out 9 years ago. Now, 9 years ago, I did not realize how big this was. Let me tell you what I told my son this last week. And this is just to give you guys a little bit of the vision on what this can do for you. I believe, and Dr. Lee believes, that there is nothing more powerful right now as a way to help you guys make money and to create a future than trading. It is fully scalable. There's no overhead. There's no customers that you have to deal with. You don't need to ship anything. It's literally you and a chart. So I told my son, even though he's doing business right now and he's actually doing good, I said, as you figure out trading, not only will this blow your mind, but you can have the greatest potential for your financial future, probably of anything that you do. This is the best thing I've ever done. Guys, if you don't know anything about trading and this is your first time hearing about it, you got to understand financially, if you can figure out how to trade and make money, this is the best thing that you can do to be an investor, to learn how to trade and learn how to read a chart. I look at it like I was going to go to college or the university. I'm going to learn how to do this. And so years ago, I said, I'm going to figure out how to trade. So Dr. Lee and I started trading together. And then we developed a tool called Impulse. Since we released Impulse, Impulse is ranked #1. It is the most used scanner tool and strategy in the company. It is used globally by people all over the world. Okay. And we have trainings in 17 languages. In fact, we just did a post today with all of the languages. All right. So if people speak different languages, they can learn how to use this tool. When we developed this tool, it simplified our trading. It made things easier for us and it made things easier for our customers. So I'm going to show you something and hopefully we have the this turned on for share screen. 1 second. Let me just check. Okay, we're good to go. Awesome. Okay, so I'll go live. So you'll see if I click on foreign exchange right here, you can see that myself and Dr. Lee are the top most viewed educators on foreign exchange. By the way, we also teach on stocks and crypto. So sometimes people think that we only teach foreign exchange, commodities. We actually do crypto and stock as well. So when you actually click on our channel and a new person comes in, not only do you see us on the screen when we're teaching and you have a stream chat, which basically means you can ask questions, you'll get every single session recorded, all of them. Every session we do is recorded, but you also have a simple and quick boot camp. In 90 minutes, you will learn the basics of how trading works. So if you're like I was, when I came in, I didn't know anything about trading. Okay. And some of you, you know nothing about trading. Today's your first day. So that's okay. We will teach you how trading works. Then, once you go through that boot camp and you get on our live sessions, we have put together a tool. And in a second, I'm going to bring on Dr. Lee, and I want you guys to see what we believe is the best tool that a new person could learn how to trade. This is what we believe. Now, everyone's going to have their own opinion that they believe that they have the best tool. We believe that not just ourselves, but by stats, that this tool will help the newest person learn how to trade better than any tool that there is. That's what we believe. That's why we speak with such passion. That's why we teach 16 times a week. Between Monday and Friday, we teach 16 times a week between foreign exchange as well as stocks and crypto. Now, let me give you a little bit of background on Dr. Lee, and then we're going to show you the tool and take you through it so that you can understand how to use this. So Dr. Lee and I go back to 2002. So we met back in college. Now, some of you, depending on where you're from, call it the university. Okay, it's basically just after high school. And we met in a health class back then. And I approached him about my business. I actually gave him an audio to listen to. Since that time, 22 years ago, we've been friends ever since. And he went off to become a doctor. I continued as an entrepreneur, and he was successful. I became successful. And then several years ago, I actually reached out to him and said, hey, man, you really need to check out this trading stuff. This is freaking amazing. We'd had a little bit of experience about 21 years ago trying to trade the markets. We weren't successful at the time because we really didn't know what we were doing. And the technology back then was not where it is today. He started trading. We started trading together. And slowly but surely, he started to kind of pull away from what he was doing as a doctor and seeing patients and stuff like this. So you need to understand that who you're about to listen to is somebody that was already successful in his field, but wanted to live a different life, have more time, choose his time, spend more time with the family and stuff like that. The goal was to free up time, control your financial future, not be basically held down by having to see patients throughout the day. Okay. So creating more free time is what it came down to. Dr. Lee is here. He's with us full time, and he teaches every day, 16 times a week. Whether he is sick or tired, he is on Go Live. Whether it's the middle of the night at convention, he is on Go Live. He is committed to your success. We are committed to your success, and we believe that trading works. It is working for us. We want it to work for you. So we want to show you our tool that we put together that is helping people around the globe. And so, guys, I want you to meet the once doctor that today is a trader, and he is a Go Live educator. So I want you to go inside of the box right now, put some fire emojis inside the box for Dr. Lee. And I'm going to put myself on mute because, as you can see, we're in the same office. He has the red jersey, I have the white jersey. And Dr. Lee, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Brandon. Great to be with everybody today. How are you doing? I appreciate the warm welcome for that. And it's a pleasure to be with you today. And I want to share a few powerful things with you that truly have had a transformative effect on our lives. And I want to just simplify trading for you so that it doesn't feel as intimidating, but that really brings things to a point where you say, I can do that, right? There are many good ways in life of making money. Personally, I think trading is one of the best ways because, as Brandon had pointed out, it doesn't require a bunch of overhead. You don't have to go start a business. You don't have to do marketing. We used to do that kind of thing, right? We had businesses before years ago where we would pay literally tens of thousands of dollars a month in marketing and doing all these different things. But with trading, you don't have to do any of that. You could simply spend the time to learn a little bit of technical analysis. And with some emotional discipline, you can learn how to, in a sense, make money from the markets. Now, it does take time. We don't sugarcoat this. It took us time as well, but we do want you to know that we believe you can succeed. We teach these principles on a daily basis on Go Live, as Brandon had pointed out. And that provides, in a sense, the evidence of our commitment that not only what we do works, but also that we want you to succeed as well. So it's not just about us. We could disappear into the sunset today and it'd be no big deal. We could go and trade and just do this ourselves, but we've been committed from day one that we want to help other people as well. My own background as a doctor, that was a big part of my daily purpose. Every day I would go see my patients and I wanted to help them. And that desire continues to today. We want to help people to succeed. Life isn't just about sitting in your home and just watching TV and being bored and having all nice stuff. It's about interacting and making a difference in the lives of other people. And so we desire to do that. And that's one of the reasons why we're on this call today with you. And so in any case, I'll jump right into a share screen and I want to share a few things with regards to impulse and trading in general, to really simplify this concept, to help you to understand that it's not as difficult as people make it out to be. And with the proper tools, it can direct your attention in the direction that you need to go. So with that, let me go into a screen share real quick. There we go. All right. So first things first, we did want to let you know that we do have the all new Impulse introduction guide that goes over a lot of the basics of Impulse. We have branded this to IYOVIA and so forth. So for those who are even already involved in the business and are looking for that new resource, that is available to you. And I want to highlight a couple of things from this before we jump onto the charts, just to kind of cover this basic aspect of trading, because on one hand, a lot of times people, they look at trading and they say there's beginner, intermediate, and then advanced concepts. I completely disagree. There are only trading concepts that are useful, and then there are strategies, right? So in other words, you need to learn what kind of a pip is and how trading basically works in terms of predicting the price will go up or down. But at the end of the day, once you get the basic terminology down, the basic concepts, order types, etc., at that point, it comes down to, well, what's your strategy? How do you know? How do you predict which direction price will go? So I'm going to talk just a little bit about the basics, and then I want to jump into the strategy, which is what Impulse is really all about, to help you show you, exactly what we do ourselves. So as Brandon had pointed out, what is trading? I really want to emphasize this fact here. Okay. This will come up. Okay. So when we trade in the markets, okay, how do we make money? By predicting price direction. That's important. You're not, in a sense, buying an asset, riding it until the value goes up. Like if you purchase, like Brandon showed, those basketball cards or things like that, he can only really make money if the value goes up. If we buy real estate, we only make money if the value goes up. But that's not how the markets work. We're not really buying the asset at all. We're predicting the direction. So in that kind of a way, it's a little bit more like gambling, and yet it is not, because we're dealing with the financial markets and so forth. And we're not just basing it on chance. We're actually looking for the concrete evidence that would suggest which direction it's going to go. So how do we actually predict that direction? That's the problem. And so we ran into this problem when we were learning how to trade. When Brandon introduced me to trading, I said to myself, I can see it's going up or down. I can even see where it's spending most of its time, but how do I really know where it's going to go next? And a lot of the time, I just use some principles of averages. I'm like, well, it seems to be hanging out mostly in this section here. And so I would literally place a trade based on that. And the truth is I won most of the time. But on the few occurrences where it didn't go back into that area, the losses were substantial. And so that really woke us up to where we said, we've got to learn risk management. We've got to be able to predict where the price is going to go next. So that's where Impulse really was born, is we said, we need something that can help us to predict that price direction. So what we did is we identified different aspects and variables on both sides of the market, reasons why price would go up, reasons why price would go down. balancing all of those different factors, we were able to then come to a conclusive decision on each candlestick on whether or not the overall bias is up or down, right? So now we have an evidence-based approach. Now, most of you, you already integrate this into your life, right? When you got into a relationship, you didn't go in blind, did you? Sometimes people go on a blind date, but very quickly they're looking for evidence, right? You're looking at that other person, say, do they look good? Are they ugly? Are they short, tall, fat, skinny, whatever? And ultimately, you're looking for the evidence of, is this person the right one for you? So we do a similar kind of a thing in the marketplace where we're saying, well, there is evidence that price could go up. There's also evidence at the same time the price could go down. So how do we know which is going to win out? That's what Impulse is really all about. So we combined all these different variables and we brought it down to a single arrow on every single candlestick. And that's just one part of the puzzle. But at a simplified level, we focus on up arrows in an uptrend and down arrows in a downtrend. But naturally, for some of you who are new, you're thinking, how do I know if I'm in an uptrend or a downtrend, right? So we've simplified this process to where ultimately the different blue indications help us to identify this slide here, that the price overall is headed in an up direction. So here on the right side of the screen, and I'll show you this on the actual scanner as well, but ultimately if we've got uptrend arrows, up strength arrows, etc., price is above this blue primary trend line, then we know price, generally speaking, is going up. And so we're going to look for opportunities where it might go up. But again, what this has done is it's simplified the approach. Just as when you're driving your car, when you go out in your car each day, do you question which side of the road that you should drive on? No, because somebody has taught you the rules. And you're like, and I don't, depending on where you're at in the world, some of you probably drive on the left side of the road. Others, depending on where you are, you might drive on the right side. But based upon that country and the rules that you understand, you're like, no, if I'm in the United States, I'm going to drive on the right side. If I'm in Europe and most parts, I'm going to be driving on the left side, right? And so with that, in a similar sense, with price, we can look at the primary trend line. We say if that line is blue, price is generally going up, almost without question. Now, price can change directions. It does change directions from time to time, but it's a great starting point for indicating the simplicity of that price direction. In a similar kind of a fashion, as we look for the red indications, if it's below our primary trend line that is red, guess where price is generally headed? In the downward direction. Now, lest you think that these are just isolated occurrences or once in a blue moon events, right? We can see these specific events and the beginning of these events through a specific and proprietary tool that we developed called a macro trend arrow. Okay, so this macro trend arrow is actually analyzing the markets, and it says, okay, Tom or Jane or whatever, it's saying now is the time when the market has made a notable shift of direction and now it's headed down or now it's headed up. And so it will show that macro trend arrow on the chart and help you to draw your attention in that given direction. If it's an uptrend, it'll show you that. If it's a downtrend, it will show you that as well. Okay, so now let's go over to the actual chart and show you some real life examples of this. And if for some reason you can't see my screen or whatnot, please let me know. So this is actually Impulse. And I'm going to refresh this just to make sure that we have access to current live data. And in fact, yeah, we're still within market hours. And so we should be good to go there. But here is Impulse. This is the actual live scanner. You can see the alert panel on the right side of the screen. And you'll immediately begin to notice, even if you don't fully know what these mean, you'll see a bunch of red arrows. You see, wow, there's down arrows right next to the word trend, down arrows next to the word strength. So even if you knew nothing about trading, Impulse is already pointing you in the right direction. It's saying, hey, if we're on this AUDJPY, which stands for the Australian dollar to Japanese yen, guess what direction it's going? Down, right? As you look at in the past, if we zoom out on this chart, what is the general direction the price has been going? All these little candlesticks represent the price. It's going down, right? So trading is not all that hard in a way. People overcomplicate it. They make up stories and they say, well, this is what the banks do. And this is what some secretive person over here. Here's what George Soros is doing. Here's what Bill Gates is doing. Nonsense. They don't know any of that. Most of it's made up stories to kind of create a basic narrative. The real truth is that price moves based upon forces. Those forces include volume. So when you place an order in the market, I place an order, that causes price to move. So if none of us place an order, right, then that object stands still. In other words, price stands still. So we can measure the actual forces on the market You don't have to do this personally, but we help to direct your attention to the result of those forces to help you know which direction price is going to go. So that macro trend arrow that I mentioned, let's add that onto our chart right up here at the top of this screen. Get my pen tool here. Right up here, these are called macro overlay tools. Okay, so each of these little circles provide automated analysis tools that automatically assess different aspects of the market. And without getting into too much detail, I want to show you the macro trend arrow, which is kind of this 2-arrow looking thing right here. So when we add that to the chart, we zoom out, we'll see where is the most recent macro trend arrow. So right here at about, this would have been at about 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so New York time, that macro trend arrow appeared approximately around that time, okay? There are multiple events that occur, but when that macro trend arrow forms, it says, hey, the market is making a notable shift of directions, and so you need to pay attention. And from there, we can use other rules that we teach on a daily basis to help you to actually know how to take the trade. We don't usually just jump in the moment an arrow forms. We use a few other principles, and then we get in the trade. But as you can see, from that point moving forward, where has price gone? The macro trend arrow said, hey, price is headed in the downward direction. This was before all this happened. And then price has since moved down. Let's look at a few more examples. Let's look at the euro to Japanese yen. This is another foreign currency pair. Here's our most recent macro trend arrow is at this point right there. What's happened since? Price has gone strongly in the downward direction. Well, what about uptrends? Because it's not just downtrends. There's been a lot of downtrends today. Let's see if we can see an uptrend. There's been a lot of counter trends even today. Let's see what the British pound to US dollar is. It's got an uptrend. So we just recently got a new upward macro trend arrow saying, hey, better pay attention. Things might be heading in the upward direction. What about different asset types? A lot of people are interested in cryptocurrencies, digital currencies, as well as even stocks. Well, if we select the B icon over here on the right side by our alert panel, and we go to Bitcoin, people are saying, well, I wish I would have known that Bitcoin was going down. It went all the way up, almost hit $100,000, but it turned around and it's starting to go down. So how do you know when it's going to go down? Well, depending on which time frame chart you're looking at, it will help to alert you that. This is the 1 minute time frame chart, which is very zoomed in data, if you will. You're looking at a lot of detailed price data. Right here, it just said, and this is just today, it said, guess what? Bitcoin's going down. That was right around $93. It's currently at $90,000. So that last $3,000 price drop just on this time frame alone, Impulse would have told you. Let's look at other time frames. What if we go up to the M5 time frame? Right up here says, hey, by the way, Bitcoin is going down. Sure would have been nice to know way up there. What about on higher time frames, the big picture? Let's look at something even way on the higher time frames. It's saying, hey, on the 1 hour, yep, we just got a new downward macro trend area. You better pay attention. You see what I'm saying? So without even having a full understanding of what all the different time frames mean, et cetera, Impulse is designed to direct your attention to those locations as well as the direction the price is likely going to go in. And so something as simple as the macro trend arrow can help to alert you to what an asset is going to do next. And it's not just digital currencies, it's also indices. Some of you may have heard of US 30, like the Dow Jones or the S&P 500. This analyzes those as well. On the indices tab, we could see, let's go to the S&P 500, see what's going on there. Right here's our recent macro trend arrow. Guess what's happened since? It just keeps on going up, right? So again, Impulse, I'm just highlighting one tool, one little tool. But what do we see about our primary trend line? It's blue. So what direction is price generally going? Up. So type a 1 in the chat if all of a sudden price direction, predicting that direction starts to feel easier when you have access to this tool. Who thinks you can follow a macro trend arrow or see a simple line that tells you, hey, price is likely going to go up or likely going to go down? And again, it doesn't matter which time frame or asset that you're choosing. You could even go to stocks. A lot of people speculate on stocks. Let's go to a common one. Most of you know about Tesla. We'll sort this by alphabetical order. And let's go down to Tesla. Okay. A lot of people, they like Tesla. They think it's going up. Well, Impulse earlier today said, nope, Tesla's going down. What's been happening ever since? Tesla's been going down. It's dropped a lot. It's dropped almost $10 in value. That's pretty tremendous when it comes to a stock value. What about other popular assets? Let's see, what else we got here that's very common. There's Microsoft. Let's see what Microsoft is up to. Okay, our macro trend arrow. What does it have to say about Microsoft? Well, it says, hey, right back here, this was on November 25th. Today is what is today? 26. So a couple of days ago on the M1 timeframe chart, it says, hey, by the way, Microsoft is headed in the upward direction. And look what's happened since. Isn't that nuts? So again, this isn't magic. We don't pretend that, but what Impulse represents is what we've effectively tried to do, and we're very just transparent about this, is we've taken all of our own study, our research, our understanding of the markets, we've taken all that information, but in strategy forms, rather than just a knowledge or a database. Anybody can pull up a dictionary and look up the definition of a word, but it's an entirely different thing to be able to take a strategy and an ability to analyze a chart and then integrate that into an automated system to show you these things so that you don't have to do that work, right? And so that's what Impulse is all about. And so the macro trend arrow, again, this is just one simple tool. Let's look at a few more. McDonald's, most of you probably heard of them. What have they been doing lately? Says, hey, right here, by the way, McDonald's is going up. Look what's happened since there. What about MasterCard? They should always be going up because everybody's always in debt, right? Boy, we have to zoom way out to even find the latest macro trend arrow on MasterCard. This was back in also November 25th. So a couple of days ago. Look at that rise. That's incredible. That's from 522 up to 530. So that's a huge, huge price rise. JP Morgan, a lot of upward movement since the last time. What about Google? What's it up to? Now, why do we show you this? So we just recently got a new one. So, hey, wonder what that future will look like, right? What about General Motors? It's another big company. People say, oh, General Motors car sales are going great. Well, Impulse would care to differ. It says, hey, by the way, GM is going down, and look what happened since. Holy Toledo, right? That's pretty amazing. So the point of this is to help you to understand that the tools are built into the scanner in order to make your life easier, to make your ability to see price direction clearly. Because trading is as simple as this. And I'll take the candlesticks off the chart. If we put a line in the middle of our chart, what trading is all about is a prediction. Is price going to go up or is price going to go down? Okay. Now, without any information, without any evidence, we know that there's a relatively 50-50 chance that it's going to go either up or down, right? That's all that can happen. Price is going to go up or down based upon where price is currently at. So what we simply need is to see greater evidence that it's either going to go in one direction or the other. And then we have a substantially increased level of confidence that it will actually do that. So things like the macro trend arrow, our high-low tool, many of these other tools that we have built into Impulse can help to provide you with that evidence so that you can more confidently as well as competently be able to identify and say, you know what, even though we know that there is a possibility that the price could go up or down based on the evidence, I believe it's going to go up. And now you've got, in a sense, that predictable confidence to say, yes, I think it's going to go up. Now, are there going to be times where you predict it goes up and yet it still goes down? There will be those times. That's why we have risk management. You need to protect yourself on the downside. That's a very normal part of trading. But as long as the majority of the time you can base your decisions on objective evidence based on impulse, and again, we teach all these principles on a daily basis on how to do this. That's what can help you take your life and your trading to that next level. All right. So one final thing I want to show you with regards to impulse and just some of the powerful tools that we have built into the system. And let's go back here, is what we call the high-low tool. So the high-low tool is another one of these macro overlay tools, and this helps to automatically identify market structure. Now, what market structure means is that over the years, as we track price and time, it plots this in these wave-like patterns. But the problem is most people don't know how to track these waves. So we actually develop proprietary exclusive rules for how to track those waves. So we do this with the high-low tool. So when you see these little triangles show up on your screen after selecting the high-low tool, what this is literally telling you is price creating new lower lows? Is it creating higher highs? Why is that important? Because like it says here in our Impulse Basics guide, an uptrend is made by creating new higher highs. A downtrend is formed by creating new lower lows. But how do you know if it's actually doing that? Well, we developed a proprietary system where we'll actually show you exactly how that is done. So for example, in an uptrend, we can form new higher highs, right? In a downtrend, we can form new lower lows. So the high-low tool shows us those structures and it takes out all the guesswork. So now when we look at an actual chart, we can say, yes, we're creating new lows. We're in a downtrend. Again, takes out all the guesswork. When you are looking for the evidence, if you're like that secret agent, you're like, okay, what's the evidence the price is going to go up or down? Now you can know, because this will help to actually show you where these structures are. And here's one of the best ways that we have actually found to use this. And I'll show you in this simple example right here. So in addition to showing you new highs or new lows, when combined with direction, this becomes an extremely powerful tool. So right here, you can see our primary trend line is red. That means price is generally expected to go in the downward direction. Well, when you have two low points that have an upward sloping angle, so like if we connect these two triangles right here, okay, notice how this is an upward sloping angle. We can now use this as a floor in the market. And if price breaks down through that floor, price is expected to continue strongly. That's the basic premise of how the analysis works. And so right here, price breaks out. We have a specific three-stage system to determine whether or not it is a breakout. But once followed through those rules, basically it happens on literally this candlestick right there. You can see what's happened since. And notice what happens in terms of market structure. A downtrend is creating new lows. An uptrend is creating new highs. Well, notice what happens after this breakout. Compared to this swing low here, we create a new low. Price pulls back, creates a new lower low, and then we get a pullback, and then a continuation. So in that active trending phase, that typically happens after a breakout from a high-low structure. Okay, so upward sloping line for downward breakouts. If we were looking for an upward breakout, we'd just do the opposite. We look for a downward sloping angle. And let me see if I can find a simple example of this. Got a lot of downtrends today. Let's go to, let's try stocks even, just for fun. Even though I know a lot of you are not going to be doing stocks. Let's go to, what was that uptrending one? JP Morgan. Okay. So right here, yeah, here's a simple example. So now we have two swing highs, these two triangles here. We connect them. Notice it's a downward sloping angle. So now it's acting like a ceiling. So if price breaks through the ceiling, it frees up price to keep going up. That's the idea. So at this point, again, we follow our stage 3 breakout, which you can learn those rules by tuning into our sessions. Price breaks out from that area, starts to create a new higher high, pulls back, creates a higher high, pulls back, and now it's on its way again. So if you're looking for the trend, the actual beginning of a trend, now not only can we tell you where the highs and the lows are, but we can actually help you to identify where the beginning of the trend will be before it happens. Again, evidence-based approach that can completely change your ability to see the markets clearly. So again, there's little details in here that we go through on a daily basis. We do several live analysis sessions for indices. We cover foreign currencies. We cover commodities. We talk about stocks and crypto twice a week. But 16 sessions in total between our live analysis and our Master the Skill training sessions, where we cover all of these details over and over again so that it becomes second nature and so that you can confidently apply these principles. But again, hit it, type a 7 in the chat if you feel like you have even if you don't know how to replicate exactly what I just showed you, if you already feel a greater sense of confidence that you could do it though, that you could actually begin to predict the direction of the market, right? So anyway, I really appreciate the opportunity to be on here with you today. We take your time and our time very seriously. We don't take these opportunities for granted because we know that this isn't just an opportunity for us to sit here on a Zoom and to look at your faces and to feel important or anything like that. We know that each and every one of your lives is important. What you're doing is important. Your goals, your aspirations for your life They're important. We take them just as seriously as we do our own. And so we want to provide you with the needed information that can truly make a difference. And just one last thought I'll share with you, and then I'll turn the time back over. And that is that when you're sharing trading with other people, it's important to understand that sometimes we all have a tendency to kind of feel, if you will, that we don't want to tell other people about it until we're successful. Raise your hand if any of you have felt that. You're like, once I make a bunch of money with trading, then I'll tell my friends, then I'll tell my family, then I'll tell these other people. That's a pretty natural tendency. And sometimes we also feel a tendency to not tell certain people because we think they're already successful. We think they're already making good money. They're already in an established profession. They're not going to be interested. What I'm here to tell you is that I personally am living proof that those assumptions should be discarded, because you never know who is looking. When Brandon shared it with me, as he pointed out, I was already full-time in my profession as a doctor. I was already making good money. I was already busy, etc. So I wasn't exactly your prime candidate for looking for a new deal, right? But all he did was share it with me. He didn't force me. He didn't coerce me or try to overly push me. He just said, hey, I think you'd be good at this. Check it out. I looked into it, and from there, everything else is history. I dove in with both feet, and it did take time, again, to make the transition. But my point to you is that you never know who's looking. You never know who's open to these things. Trading is very attractive to people from all walks of life. I don't care what profession they come from. The truth is everybody wants to make money. That's the bottom line. Everybody wants to make money. And so if you're hesitant to share it with other people, though, then I would just say, try to cast that emotion aside, because you're not just looking for an opportunity to make money off somebody else. What you're sharing is an opportunity for them to bless their own life. That's really the gift that you're offering to them. I wouldn't be here today. Impulse wouldn't exist if Brandon hadn't first shared it with me, right? I wasn't an IBO. I wasn't building the business. I was just learning how to trade. And that's still actually the case. I'm not even building the business and so forth. But the point is, open your mouth, be confident. You never know whose life you might change just by sharing what trading can do, even if you don't feel like it's done it for you yet. But anyway, that's kind of my little plug for just why it's important to share these principles with other people, even if you don't feel like you've attained that success yet yourself, because it can really bless somebody's life. So in any case, with that, Brandon, I'll turn the time back over to you for a second. But thanks everybody again for having me on, and for Brandon. It's just a continued pleasure.
All right, amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, you too. Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you so much, Brandon, for the amazing, amazing sauce. Guys, drop some ones in the chat, drop some fires in the chat, because this, guys, I would say was amazing. We got everything covered, from what is trading, how does the impulse tool work, right? And so much more also. So guys, this is only the beginning, and I don't want to add so much more into it because we already got everything covered. So I just want to say again, thank you so much for your time, Brandon and Josh. I know everybody is super, super, super grateful. And hopefully also, if they haven't started yet, got the desire to start now and really make a difference and do whatever it takes. Guys, to end this off, remember, we're not done yet. We have 2 more masterclasses to go. Tomorrow we have social media UGC, to be more specific, how you can start your own UGC journey, right? Learn to create a personal brand and, really make collaborations with bigger brands, get free products, and also get paid, right, by creating promotional videos for brands. Guys, that is crazy. You will learn that tomorrow at the same time as today at 9 p.m. CET, all right, with our super amazing educator in UGC, Mijana. And just to show the recent testimonies, you see, guys, we have had people in our community crushing UGC, right? Closing a lot of deals with brands and getting paid, getting free products, right? It's amazing, guys. So really, like, be plugged into that if you have big dreams to get free products, right? It's crazy. Like, I live with my girlfriend. She's every day out and picking up new items at the store. It's crazy, It's also some good things I can use, I don't complain. So guys, really take advantage of this, okay? And at Thursday, they will see, and in 2 days, we have about crypto. So if all this with the charts and investing and trading is really your thing, don't miss out on Thursday at 9 p.m. guys, okay? It will be an amazing call with crypto. And if you know what's going on right now in crypto, you don't want to miss out on this call, all right? So make sure you're plugged in, make sure that you're ready, and you put your alarm on your phone. And we will see you very soon, guys. With that being said, take care. And I'm super excited to hopefully meet you one day. Let's go and let's get it.